Hey, it's Zane Truscott, and I want to wish you a happy 2025. At this time of year, if you're anything like me, you take some time to reflect on not only the year that was, but also the year ahead and things that you can do better in some aspect of your life that you know that you really want to improve. And so in this video, I want to share with you seven insights or tips or guidelines, whatever you like to call it, that I believe can help you to really make progress in 2025 in your health, in your life, in your relationships, in your finances, whatever area of life is important to you. And so I want to rip straight into these seven tips that I've written down. I wanted to share these with you. But just before I do that, the first thing I really want to say up front is that, you've probably heard the saying before that in life, nothing changes if nothing changes. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And as simple as that sounds, I think a lot of people, when they want to make change in their life, one of the greatest things that stops them is fear of the unknown. And we all have this law of familiarity that we all subscribe to subconsciously, where we become accustomed to things being a certain way. Our brain is designed to keep us safe. It doesn't naturally want us to step outside of our comfort zone and to do things that are challenging or difficult or perhaps are fearful. And so it really is up to you and I. If we want to make positive change in our life, we have to move forward with conviction. We have to take control. And so the more we just stay dormant and we stay passive and we allow our mind to kind of dictate terms, it's very unlikely that we're able to make any kind of real positive change in life. And this is why the saying, nothing changes if nothing changes. And it's really up to you to take control, to create that breakthrough, to create that momentum that can improve the quality of your life. So, with that said, I want to jump into these seven tips for you. Step number one, invest in yourself first. Invest in yourself first. And the reason I say that is because behavioral scientists have known this for decades that it's not the strategy that makes the most difference. It's very easily, if you want to lose 10 kilos, the strategy for doing that is really straightforward. It's not rocket science. Yes, the health and fitness industry can complicate it in terms of diets and different exercise routines, but I can teach you a strategy pretty much in 10 minutes flat that I know will get you there, but it's not that that's important. What's important is what's going on here. It's our value system, it's our beliefs, it's our mindset, it's our degree of motivation. Those are the things that make the most difference. And so when you invest in yourself first, you put yourself in a different state. You put yourself in a state where your mental frame of reference is constantly being challenged. And this is what I like to do every single day for myself. And I typically do it, early in the day where I'm listening to something that's uplifting, that's motivational, that's inspirational, or that's educational, that's always filling my cup mentally and emotionally. And so this is really the first step. If you want to make positive change in your life, in any area, finances, relationships, health, fitness, personal goals, you have to start by investing in yourself first, making yourself the best that you can be in terms of the state that you're in. Because when you're in a benign, passive um, state, it's very, very difficult for you to make any change. So you've got to get yourself into that state where your mind is active, positive, and feeling progressive. So that's step number one. Invest in yourself first. Number two is to control your environment. Now, this ties in with step number one because even though there's many different sources of being able to invest in yourself and learn and grow, um, controlling your environment is so important because quite often this is something we don't necessarily have control over from day to day, particularly if it's our family, if it's our social circle, our friendship group, or our business associates, our work colleagues that are holding us back, that are weighing us down, that are weighing on us emotionally that are preventing us from being the best version of ourselves. And so you've got to be really acutely aware of your environment. I like to refer to it as your radio frequency, the things that you're letting into your mental and emotional space, and to do whatever you can to control that environment, particularly if it is not positive. Now, having said that, there are many people who, they work in a very high-powered professional environment. And home may be a low vibration environment, but then they go to work and it's a very high vibration environment. So they're constantly dealing with this imbalance between low vibration and high vibration. Maybe that's good because there's yin and yang in their life, but some people find that challenging to go from low vibration to high vibration. And so, just being able to take control of the environment, if they're constantly thriving in that high vibration frequency, can be a challenge. And so, really my point with this is that we know that we are the sum total in terms of the results in our life of our five closest connections, our five closest associates, our five closest family members or friends. Those that we spend the most time with ultimately have the greatest impact on who we become. And so if we're not happy with our environment and the impact that's having on us in terms of that frequency, in terms of that ripple effect, then we really need to do what we can whenever we can to proactively look for ways to get that inspiration, to connect with people and communities that are kind of channeling us in the right direction. And so that's all I'll say on that point for now, but really, really important. A lot of people struggle in life because they don't feel like they have the support, the connection, the community, the right social circle. And so in 2025, if you feel like you need to make changes in that area, I really implore you to make positive, proactive changes to your environment, to your social circle, to those groups that you're connecting with, that can add value to your life. So that's step number 2, controlling your environment. Step number 3 is to set yourself a goal or personal challenge. Now, our minds, our brains are very, very good at taking us where we want to go when we have clarity. And this is why, anybody who wants to teach you about financial freedom, financial success, somebody who wants to teach you about, achieving at a high level athletically, generally they've got it down to a fine art when it comes to numbers, when it comes to metrics. And the reason for that is that when we have KPIs or key performance indicators to shoot for, it really helps us to target certain goals, which kind of can serve as, I guess, magnets, like a magnet to pull us from where we are now to where we want to go. And so having goals is really, really important. Now, it could be a goal to get to the gym more often, to get those 8,000 to 10,000 steps in per day because you know that you haven't been doing it consistently enough. It could be a goal to get out of credit card debt, for example. A lot of people these days have a lot of credit card debt and they know that it's kind of like a noose around their neck that they need to get rid of so that they can move forward in their financial life. It could be to get more connected with your significant other, and that means maybe you need to set a date night once a fortnight or once a month. That's something that you have not been prioritizing up to this point. Whatever it might be, based on the area of life you'd love to improve, the key point I want to make here is that just set those mini targets, those mini goals, and really anchor those in your mind and make them a priority to really go after. And that's half the battle when it comes to improving an area of our life, is just making sure that we've got that clarity on what it is we want to achieve, and then making those goals achievable so that when we achieve them, we can go to the next level and then the next level after that. Number four is to prioritize your health and wellness. Prioritize your health and wellness. And, if you've listened to my audios before, I do a weekly podcast where I talk about wellness for the most part. And so this is a big area for me. It's been an area I've been on a personal journey of my own wellness and fitness and health discovery for the past 30 years. Spent a lot of years in the educational space, in self-care and self-education. And so when it comes to health, it's so important that we keep things simple, because this is an area of life that can be very, very complicated. There's lots of conflicting messages out there, a lot of experts and gurus who can't seem to see eye to eye on diets and different modalities for wellness and physical exercise and those kinds of things. And so you need to be very intuitive about what works for you. Having said that, I'm a great believer that when it comes to diet, for example, if you did nothing else other than cut out anything that's processed, packaged, refined sugars, preservatives, if you did nothing else other than that, then you're going to be 80% of the way there when it comes to making sure that you're eating a healthy diet. Obviously, the next level out of that is making sure that you're eating a seasonal, whole food diet, fresh fruits, vegetables that are in season, locally sourced, organic wherever you can. And if you're eating animal products, just make sure that they're hormone-free, grass-fed, pasture-raised. And you just want to make sure that you're accessing the cleanest sources possible in all of the foods that you eat. And this is going to reduce inflammation in your body, ensure that you have energy, and just ensure that you're getting all the nourishment that you need, and that your cells need, the vitamins, the minerals, your immunity strong, and you're also preserving and protecting your joints, your muscle mass, which is so important, particularly as you age. And so prioritizing your health is so important if you want to move forward and kick some goals in 2025. Number five, this is about finances. Really taking stock of where you are financially. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. But this, again, is an area I spend a lot of time in personally. I've spent a lot of time in the last 3 or 4 years really making changes in my personal life, my family life in regards to finance, because I can see that the world is changing in terms of what it takes to be financially free. And the reason for that is because we have unprecedented inflation due to monetary expansion, money printing, currency debasement, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of people don't realize why we have a cost of living crisis, why we have a housing crisis. Why is it that life is getting harder, not easier for the masses in general? The middle class is disappearing, and there's just an elite group at the top who are just getting wealthier and wealthier and wealthier due to inflation. And so, again, this is a conversation we can have separately and go in depth on. But really, the point I want to make for you here today is that it's so important that if you want to be financially free, whatever that looks like for you, that you put some metrics, some goals, some targets around that. Because I truly believe, and I'm 52, and so I'm starting to think about how I want things to look 10 years from now when I'm on the cusp of so-called retirement. And so, for me, it's about looking at my superannuation account and, what is it I can do to take charge of that, which I've done a few years ago, self-managed super fund, being in control of that, the performance of that compared to what I was able to achieve for 30 odd years with these big corporates taking care of my money, is just chalk and cheese. So the more we can be in control, be conscious of that financial aspect of our life, realize that in this changing world that we're in this inflationary environment that we're in, that is constantly changing, is only going to get worse. We need to have an element of our wealth stored in hedge assets, assets that protect us from inflation, the likes of gold and silver that have been money for 5,000 years. Bitcoin, decentralized digital assets that are outside the system that we can control. These are the kinds of things we need to have an aspect of our financial lives dedicated to, so that we are outside the system, so that we have that portfolio of sovereignty, of control in our financial world. And so really just taking stock of where you are financially, how far you are off from retirement. Do you foresee that you're going to be able to be financially free based on where you are now and where you want to go and your current stage in life and your current age? Your ability to accelerate that, fast track that. All of these kinds of things are so important, particularly if you're in your late 40s, early 50s or beyond, and you're feeling like you're not really certain about the future for yourself financially. So it all starts with taking stock of where you are now, looking at where you will need to be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, and then really, I guess, getting educated about the things that you can do to accelerate your path forward in your financial life. So step number 5 is to take stock of your finances. Number 6 is to have gratitude. Have gratitude. And I know this sounds a little cheesy, a little corny, but it is really an important thing, because, we know that it's really difficult for us to experience a lot of the negative emotions that people typically feel when we have gratitude. Gratitude is kind of the antidote to all of those different emotions that exist: fear, uncertainty, doubt, abandonment, anxiousness, stress. A lot of these emotions that we feel, once we are able to switch our mindset to a state of gratitude for the things that we do have, and we start shifting from that glass half empty mindset to the glass half full perspective, it really helps to, I guess, make us feel better. And so having that sense of gratitude is just so important. And realizing that there are always going to be people that are better off than us and people that are worse off than us. And, comparison has always been the thief of joy, and that we need to just focus on our lives, the things that we can control, and the things that we are grateful for and can be grateful for in our own life, no matter how simple they may be. So step number 6 is to have that sense of gratitude. The 7th and final point I want to make right now to finish off this video for you is to commit to progress in 2025, no matter how small. Commit to progress, no matter how small. And the reason I say progress is because, as the great Tony Robbins often says, progress equals happiness. Progress equals happiness. As human beings, we just want to know that we're putting one foot in front of the other, moving forward, step by step, improving our lives in some way, no matter how small, every single day. So it doesn't mean that we need to set the world on fire. It doesn't mean we need to achieve an enormous amount. It just means that we need to be having that sense that we're moving forward in a positive way. And so whatever it is that you have set for yourself in 2025 to improve in your life, really my goal for you, or my wish for you, is that you just take one foot and put it in front of the other, and you set mini goals and you move forward with progress. When you're able to do that, you start to feel that sense of self-worth, self-fulfillment, sense of self-achievement, happiness, self-love, all the things that are so important, but besides those tangible aspects of our world that so much of society is constantly immersed in these days, social media, what we see on the mainstream news and the like. We need to take time to really center ourselves, focus on things that we can control, look within ourselves, be grateful, and just focus on our world, what we can do to make our lives better and to contribute to others in a positive way. So I'm going to leave it there today. I really want to wish you a happy and healthy 2025. Just to recap, number one, invest in yourself first. Number two, control your environment. Be in charge of that radio frequency around you. Number three, set a goal or personal challenge this year. Number four, prioritize your health, your body, look after yourself. Five, really take stock of your finances, where it is you are now and where you want to go. Number six, have that sense of gratitude every single day. And seventh and finally, commit to progress and positive change in your life. And I'll know that 2025 will be your best year yet. I want to thank you for listening. I hope you got some value from this video. Stay connected with me. I want to do more content like this year. I want to do some Zoom events and really grow this community and help you out however I can. Again, thank you for listening. This is Zane signing out. Until next time, stay strong and live well. Bye for now.